Hello friends and welcome to Picture Astrology. In this snap video, we will talk about placement of Saturn in the sign of Virgo for a Aries Ascendant horoscope. So when we have Aries or the first sign of the zodiac rising in the horoscope, Virgo falls in the 6th house. So this video is also about placement of Saturn in the 6th house for Aries Ascendant horoscope. So when we have the Aries Ascendant horoscope, Saturn becomes Lord of 10th and 11th house respectively, and that's because 10th house contains the sign of Capricorn and 11th house contains the sign of Aquarius, and both of these signs are owned by the planet Saturn. So planet or house number 6 and 10 and 11 will be directly affected by this placement of Saturn, because in the 6th house Saturn is placed and in the 10th and 11th house Saturn is the owner. Now in Vedic astrology, Saturn has some special aspects. So Saturn looks at 3rd house from its own position, which will be 8th house here. Saturn looks at the 7th house from its own position, which will be 12th house here. And Saturn looks at the 10th house from its position, which will be the 3rd house. So you see, just one placement of Saturn has a direct effect on so many houses and so many areas of your life. And a detailed analysis can easily tell you many things, like about 8th house, how long a person will live, what kind of life he is going to have, how much money he is going to spend on things. 12th house, how much enjoyment he is going to have in his life. Again 12th house. What will be his communication style? 3rd house. What kind of jobs or work would be suitable for him? How easily he is going to get success in life? 11th house, and so on and so forth. And in next few minutes we will talk about top 5 effects of this placement of Saturn in the 6th house. So very first thing, Saturn's placement in the 6th house is generally associated with a lot of perseverance. People with this placement have capacity to do a lot of hard work and continue to do it for a long period of time. And this is especially true because, being Aries Ascendant, Mars is the lord of ascendant sign and Martian signs are full of energy. And with Saturn placed in the 6th house, this energy of Mars can be put to good use by perseverance and patience, because energy without patience and perseverance generally yields in a lot of wastage of life energy. But this Saturn here can ensure that the person spends his reservoir of energy into something productive and useful for the community. So this Saturn provides this very important quality of perseverance. Now because Saturn is lord of the 10th house, which shows your work life, and Saturn is placed in this house of 6th number or 6th house of hard work and perseverance, what it shows is that you would love to work very hard in the profession you choose. And professions such as a statistician or analyst, who plays with a lot of data, who tries to analyze many things at a time, or someone who have to be on his desk for a long period of time, those kind of professions are very suitable. Especially this is because Saturn is in the sign of Virgo, which is the sign of Mercury, and Virgo is the most analytical sign of entire zodiac. They know how to make use of least resources in the best possible way. And this is true. They can make use of, smallest possible resources and put them to optimal use. At the same time, this Saturn in Virgo provides a great accounting abilities, and that's why I said statistician, analyst, depending upon the strength of the Mercury you have, because 10th lord is in the 6th house in the sign Virgo, and there is a simultaneous aspect on the third house, which is also another sign of Mercury, Gemini. So profession which involves amalgamation of your Aries personality, which means a lot of energy, a lot of perseverance, a lot of analytical skills, a lot of articulation, a lot of accounting, those kind of mixtures, which is generally found in statistician, analyst, historian sometime, depending upon other influence of on Saturn, and related kind of fields. But one thing is for sure, they would take their profession seriously and work patiently towards success. And remember, patience will be the key for success in your life, because the Lord of 10th house is Saturn, and it is in the sign of Virgo, and more specifically it is in the 6th house. So the more patiently and more with perseverance you work, the more successful you will be. Now let's talk about the 11th house effects. Now Lord of 11th Saturn is in the 6th house, which is actually 8th from 11th, which is a little difficult position, and this placement is invariably associated with change of your friend circle often. So if you have this placement in your horoscope, you might find yourself in a new situation all the time, among new friends, among new social circle, among new professional circle, and that can happen very frequently also. Periodically you will have to make new friends, new acquaintances, new colleagues, and that kind of changing environment is generally a theme which happens when Saturn is in this 6th house for Aries Ascendant horoscope. And it's actually not a bad thing, but it's always good to be mentally prepared with this information, that however good friends or social circle you are going to make, there is a great chance that periodically it will keep on changing. Now another important thing, that because you are very prone to having a change of your friends or social circle all too often, not because anybody else's fault or your fault, it's just the situation which keeps on changing. Therefore, it is always advisable to not have or not give or take loans among friends. It is because, as I said, placement of Saturn here causes change of your friends, change of your social circle very, very quickly. Sometimes it can be very quick if Saturn is afflicted. So any exchange of money or exchange of valuable among friends should be avoided as far as possible with this placement of Saturn. Now another thing about health, 6th house represents the kind of disease you might face, and placement of a malefic planet like Saturn here generally gives you good immunity, good immune power to fight disease. However, any affliction to this Saturn here can cause issues related to nervous system or nerves, and also sometimes related to your breathing problem is common with this Saturn, because Saturn is in the sign of Mercury, which is closely associated with lungs and breathing apparatus. At the same time, Saturn has an aspect on the 3rd house as well. 3rd house shows your lungs, and being in the 6th house, generally it saves you, it gives you good immunity or good fighting power against diseases, but any affliction can easily make you prone to nerves or breathing related issues. So please take care of that. At the same time, since Saturn is in the 6th house, please be very careful with legal issues. Any legal matters or any business or any professional work you do, try to be always on the right side of legal system, because the aspect of Saturn on the 12th house can make you pay fines, monetary fines very, very quickly, very, very easily. And since we talked about this Saturn causing change of social circle or you going to new places often, it is always more advisable to keep the laws and regulation of that new place in mind, because you can always get a parking ticket or a speeding ticket if you're not careful. So my friends, this was my quick analysis of Saturn in 6th house for Aries Ascendant. As I said in the beginning, there are so many other areas of life, so many things we can talk about. However, this being a small video, I'll stop here. I really hope you would have gained some knowledge about this placement of Saturn in 6th house for Aries Ascendant, and it will help you in your life. Thank you for being with me and watching this so far. Please do hit like and subscribe button to continue to receive more updates like this. Thanks again for watching and hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.